from the brink of pushing Eubank all the way. There is no. Here. Let me mute that. I don't know what to say. Let me try to figure out how to say it. Chris Eubank Jr. is good, but he's not special. 32 years old. You know what's crazy? I've actually covered 15 plus Chris Eubank Jr. fights. 15 post-fight recap videos I've done on Chris Eubank Jr. I started covering him in about 2014 or so. Here's the thing. He's ranked very high, top 5, in 3 of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. WBC. Here, let's pull it up real quick before we listen to the post-fight interviews. Try to get you some highlights. The WBC, there's his father. I hate that. I hate that fucking sheriff badge he got. But at the same time, theatrics, whatever. There's my man Collie. He was off his tits at the weigh-in yesterday. Those sweet nose clams, people were saying. Not me. I'm just the voice of the people. Here is the Matthew Macklin scorecard. Liam Williams had a very, very good second half of the fight. However, for those who call for a rematch, you can't, or that you know you would like to see it again, you have to factor in that Liam Williams was dropped 3 times by a jab. This shit right here pissed me off. He started showboating the last 45 seconds or so of the last round. You can clearly see he was tired. But it was some bullshit. That was pissed off. Hold on. My bad. Damn asthma's been fucking with me. But overall, he can be a world title contender, but I don't see him beating a world champion, especially at 160 pounds. Ranked number 3 by the WBC. As you can see, Jamal Charlo is the WBC 160-pound champion. Rumors are he may be fighting Canelo next in May. Number 1 by the WBA. Yoel Murata and IBF champion Golovkin are going to be fighting, waiting for that date to be rescheduled. And then Demetrius Andrade is vacating his title and moving up to 168. So, Janjabek Alimkhanuly, I know I'm always butchering his name, will be fighting somebody for that vacant title. It could be Munguia. Let's listen into the cards.
Phil Edwards, Terry O'Connor scored about 116, 109, 116, 108, 117, 109. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Chris Eubank Jr.
Fairly wide on all 3, as expected by the 4 knockdowns that Eubank Jr. scored, and some of those rounds where maybe Enzo and Matt led towards Williams, the judges might have done Eubank. 1 or 2 of them were close.
All right, let me turn that down. But who is he going to fight next, and who do we want to see him fight next? Now, if he was to pursue a title, what would be the easiest path politically? You would think what the WBA is doing, possibly them. But the winner of Murata versus Golovkin will likely fight Canelo. That's a possibility in September. Put it this way, I don't see a title shot for him in 2022. Now, for a realistic next fight, maybe this guy right here, Michael Madiev. I haven't even seen him fight before, I don't think. Jaime Munguia is fighting Demetrius Ballard in a couple of weeks. But Jaime Munguia is ranked number 1 by the WBC and the WBL, so I'm guessing he would probably try to go that route. I'm guessing it would be the WBA route. But in the meantime, who does he fight? Ew, bring this on. How y'all feel about that? Y'all think it's marinated long enough? Sergio Martinez at 46 years old versus Chris Eubank Jr.? Y'all think they should order that? WBA? Who can he fight over on, Boxer over on Sky Sports where he's fighting right now? That Billy Joe Saunders fight is still lucrative, but what would have happened that, especially since Billy Joe Saunders has been fighting at 168 for quite some time? I'm kind of stumped right now. You have to let me know in the comments. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a jump cut and listen to who Chris Eubank Jr. wants to fight. By the way, Liam Williams lost a fight to me. It's hard. Like, he got knocked down 4 times, 3 times by a jab. Demetrius Andrade didn't even do that. Eubank Jr. looked very good, the first, several rounds, 4, 5, 6 rounds of the fight. But the problem I have with him is he's not Roy Jones. You know, so with a much more skilled fighter, he's going to take some big shots. You know, probably get knocked out if he tries to fight with that hands down style. And of course, you have to worry about him in the second half, because even when I covered him fight Billy Joe Saunders, both of them was pretty much gassed out the second half of the fight. And I'm wondering what's taking them so long on Sky Sports to do the interviews, because tonight we have Thurman versus Barrios, in which I'm going to be covering. And then, unfortunately, I won't be able to stream during that fight, having like major technical difficulties. And also, I was in the hospital this morning for asthma flare-up. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just saying, like, it's been a rough day. You know, I didn't get home until Caroline Dubois was in the ring. So let's take a jump cut, take a time out, like the video, subscribe. Also, down below in the description box is some links to the WBC app. Yes, the WBC, the World Boxing Council, has an app powered by the Vive Network. I put the links for Roku, Apple, Android. Oh, so he's leaving the arena? No interview? Oh, you think he had to take a shit? You think he had to take a shit? Because he went straight to the back and it looked like he went right into the bathroom. I'm wondering why no interview. Interesting. Well, with that being said, I really have nothing more to say about this fight. You know, it kind of went the way that I thought I was going to go, regarding like Chris Eubank Jr. wouldn't have an easy night, but he would win the fight. You know, this was a club fight, pretty much. And no disrespect to Liam Williams, to me, he's a club fighter. I'm getting up out of here. This TstreeT controversy with 5v360. You know what? I'm not going to leave yet. Let's do a jump cut and let's see if he comes back to do an interview. In the meantime, for me, it'll probably be whenever he comes back. You know, in the meantime, you guys can take your time out, like the video, subscribe.
Teach this man a lesson. He said some very menacing things to me leading up to this.
He said he wanted to kill him.
I wanted to punish him. You know, I actually thought about it before I got in the ring, and I was like, I don't even want to knock this guy out in the first round. You know, I want to punish him.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. I want to punish him. I want to teach him a lesson. You know, I want to get people like that out of boxing. You know, you saw the fight: headbutts, headlocks, all types of crazy stuff. I'm surprised he didn't get disqualified, but I took it like a man and I punished him like I said I was going to do. It was a fun night.
Strange fight of two halves, almost. Very strong start from you and a strong finish at the end.
Yeah, well, you know, people always tell me I can't box. You know, apparently all I can do is come forward and I have no jab. So, you know, I thought, you know what, let me show some of these critics a different side to Eubank Jr. With a little bit of, you know, Roy Jones Jr. sauce added to it. You know, see something different, you know, get the fans excited.
Roy won't thank me for saying it, but let me ask you, having had him down in the first, the second and the fourth, could you have put your foot to the floor and forced a stoppage? Was there a danger you were letting him back into the fight?
No, there was no danger. I could have, if I had stepped on the gas at any point in that fight, he would have been gone. But, you know, he needed to be taught a lesson. I didn't want to.
I kind of felt that a little bit.
I wanted him to let him know that there's levels to the game, and you know, and don't go out there, you know, being a big mouth to guys who you can get hurt against. You know, he thought he was something he wasn't.
Chris, you came, you saw, you conquered. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate it.
It felt like,
Johnny, you watched that and you went on.
do you think he really had the ability to be able to stop him? You know, I mean, he did drop him 3 times with a jab. And sometimes I was like, yo, just turn it up. Get him out of there, you know? But also, he was getting tagged up himself, you know, fight with his hands down. You know, I was a little bit concerned. But nonetheless, you know, as I said, what we talk about is realistic fights that can possibly happen. And right now, looking at this, you know, I'm wondering, like, you know, his next fight is probably not going to be a big name. You see what I'm saying? And that's what people are wanting to see from Chris Eubank Jr. It's like, all right, cool. Now it's time to really, really, really step it up. Yes, he just fought a former world championship challenger. But, you know, which way is he going to go? So down in the comments below, take your time out, like the video, but also let me know who do you want him, who would you like to see him fight? And where do you think they would go with him? You know, you got Salusky maybe. I don't know. But even that, I don't want to see that. I would love to see him go against Derevianchenko, but I don't think that's possible. Politically, I mean. You know? Or even Carlos Adames, PBC. I don't think it's possible. But we'll see. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and TstreeT Controversy with 5v360. Also, I put my link tree down below, in the description box, and it houses all of my social media platforms.